Hi, I'm Stacey and welcome to my Book Nook. And today we're going to be doing my March Pick N Mix TBR. And I wore the most appropriate jumper because it totally looks like licorice all sorts, in my opinion. I just wanted to show it off, to be honest. So, let's get started with the rolls. Okay, let's go with the March Pick N Mix TBR. We have this dice today, and as always we have the one ring. So let's go. Roll number 1 is a big one. It's an 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, so that's a colour pick. And today I don't have any sweets colour pick, so instead I'll randomise it and I'll put it in when I'm picking the books. Roll number 2 is a 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's a contemporary or a romance. Roll number 3, a 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that's a sci-fi. Here's a 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here's a friend pick. And a 3. 1, 2, 3 is a mood read. And a 5 is going to be our last one. So for this one, what I'm going to do is do a TBR jump. Give it a little bit of a shuffle. Do I dare with this one? Kyra's pick. Kyra gets to pick me a book. Okay, now you've seen the rolls, you know what happened. I won't be going over last month because that'll be in the wrap up. So if you want to see what I read last month, it's in my, well, it will be in my wrap up for February. Okay, so the first roll we had was a colour pick. And let me just insert the spinner wheel that I used instead here. So as you can see, it picked red. And I'm trying to give myself lots of options this month. I don't want to narrow it down because last month, well, still this month technically, February, I felt like I didn't have enough options because I'm very much in mood reading mood at the moment. So this is how we're going to do that, I suppose. So I've got a few books here, and probably the one that I'm going to do is Into the Drowning Deep by Margaret because I have not got to it yet in February and I still really, really want to read it. But we do have other options. I've got Do No Harm by Jack Jordan, and I've also got Skandar and the Unicorn Thief by A.F. Steadman. And I didn't tell you what any of them are about, as usual. So if you haven't seen what Into the Drowning Deep is about, I'll just give you a really quick overview. It's about a group of people went missing in the Marianas Trench they were making a mockumentary, and so a new crew goes to find out what happens to them, and it involves killer mermaids. Do No Harm is a thriller. It's about a doctor whose child has been taken, and they have to make a decision whether or not to kill a patient on the operating table to get them back. And then, yeah, but as a doctor, they have to do no harm. So I thought it'd be quite an interesting thriller. And Skandar and the Unicorn Thief, I actually don't know a lot about. I know it's a middle grade, and obviously it's about Skandar and the Unicorn Thief. So it says Skandar Smith has only ever wanted to be a unicorn rider, but just as his dream is about to come true, things take a dangerous turn. A dark and twisted enemy has stolen the world's most powerful unicorn, and as the threat grows ever closer, Skandar discovers a secret that could blow apart his world forever. So any of those. We've also got, I didn't get it out, but it is just here. I've also got Cruel Illusions, which is a potential one with red on the cover. It's technically got a black cover, but it's just black and red. So that's another potential one, and that is about basically a circus, and it's about vampires. Yeah, it's about a girl who finds out about magic, and a vampire killed her mum, so she's trying to kill vampires and stuff. You get the idea. So our second role was contemporary or romance, and I'm not the biggest contemporary or romance person. I have a few options that I could do. First one is If You Still Recognize Me by Cynthia. And this is about Elsie, who has a crush on Ada, and they've never met in real life because Ada lives an ocean away. And then it says that Elsie has decided it's now or never to tell Ada how she feels. That is until her long-lost best friend Joan walks back into her life. So it's a YA contemporary romance, and it is sapphic. What I might be tempted to read is The Soulmate Equation by Christina Lauren, and I think I don't know a lot about it. I know that it's basically one of those dating things that uses DNA to pair you together. I'm pretty sure she gets paired with the maker of the app, or maker of the maker, whatever. Yes, and I'm pretty sure it's like an enemies to lovers kind of thing. So possibly that one. The third role was sci-fi. Now, I've got a couple for sci-fi, and what I really want to do for this one is read an Andy Weir book. I have 3, but I've narrowed it down to 2 because I really, really want to read The Martian and also Project Hail Mary, both by Andy Weir. And they're both sci-fis. They're both about astronauts set in space. I don't know a ton about them, but I really want to read an Andy Weir book. So that's probably going to be what I do here. And it's most likely going to be The Martian because it's the first one that he put out, and that's where I want to start. So the next role was a friend pick. And for this, I asked my sister's boyfriend, who was very kind and let me use him for this. And I sent him this picture. I shall pop it up. And said, can you pick one of these, please? and he ended up picking Legends and Lattes by Travis Baldree. And this is about Viv, who is an orc, and she decides to put away her swords and start up a coffee shop. I assume she has swords. Put down her weapons. She's basically going into retirement and she's going to own a coffee shop instead. But the town has never heard of coffee, so it's going to be difficult. And I have wanted to read this for such a long time, so thank you very much for picking this one. The fifth roll was mood read, which is great because I am definitely in a mood reading mood. So I'm sure there are plenty of other books that I could mood read, and I might mood read something else. But at the moment, these two are at the top of my list. The first one is A Magic Steeped in Poison by Judy, and this is about tea magic, essentially. I'll just read you the back, maybe. Okay. For Ning, the only thing worse than losing her mother is knowing that it's her own fault. She was the one who unknowingly brewed the poison tea that killed her, the poison tea that now threatens to also take her sister's shoe. When Ning hears of a competition to find the kingdom's greatest, watch me butcher this again, Shenongshi, masters of the ancient and magical art of tea making, she travels to the imperial city to compete. The winner will receive a favour from the princess, which may be Ning's only chance to save her sister's life. But between the backstabbing competitors, bloody court politics, and a mysterious and handsome boy with a shocking secret, Ning's life might actually be the one in more danger. So that just made me want to read it more, because I forgot it was a competition, and I just love a competition. I like competitions in my books. So that's an option. But I also very much would like to read Spice Road by Ibrahim. And I just love this. It's such a beautiful edition. This is the synopsis for this one. In the hidden desert city of Kalia, secret spice magic awakens the affinities of those who drink the Misra tea. Can you sense a theme here? Tea magic. Just want to read about tea magic. With her affinity for iron, 17-year-old Amani can wield a dagger like no other, and for that she has gained a reputation as the next greatest shield, battling jinn, ghouls, and other monsters spreading across the sands. But ever since her brother was discovered, stealing their nation's coveted spice, a telltale sign of magical obsession, and disappeared into the deadly forbidden wastes, Amani's reputation has been in tatters. Despite Athir's betrayal, there isn't a day that goes by she doesn't grieve him. When Amani discovers signs her brother may be alive and spreading their nation's magic to outsiders, desperate to find him and to protect him, she joins the mission sent to hunt him down. Accompanied by Taha, a powerful beast seer who enthralls and enrages her in equal measure, Imani soon discovers that many secrets lie beyond the forbidden wastes, and in her own heart. Caught between her duty to her nation and her love for her brother, Imani must decide where her loyalties lie before it's too late. Yes, I would very much like to read this book too. And for the last roll, I went for a TBR jar and it pulled out Kyra Pick. Kyra is my twin sister and she has been on this channel before, and if you would like to see her, I'll put it up there. And I gave her complete free reign of my TBR, complete free reign. But she actually picked one of the ones in the picture that I sent her boyfriend, and she picked Little Thieves by Margaret Owen. And I'm I'm not surprised, to be fair, because she did actually help me pick out this book. So, this book is a retelling of, I cannot remember which fairy tale it is. If I say the Goose Girl, it could be wrong, but that's what I've got in my head. So it's a fairy tale retelling, but it's about this girl, and she is at the moment living as a princess. She's basically stolen the princess's life, and these two goddesses are kind of her guardians. And I don't know too much more about it. I don't want to say too much more, but it just sounds really interesting. The back doesn't really say, it just gives you a bit of her backstory. She was a maid who stole the princess's face and her name and her betrothed, and the maid lives like a queen, which is now what she is. So I am excited. I've also wanted to read this for ages, which was why it was in the picture to begin with. So I've got a lot of options, so many options. So we'll see what I get to. Any of these could change because I really, as I was saying, I really want to mood read. So we'll see how that goes. So that's everything from me today. What's on your TBR for March? And are you interested in reading any of these books, or have you read them? And what did you think? So if you liked this video, please make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye! Did I unbox it? That might have been the one I didn't unbox. That's helpful, Stacey.